What would happen if everything you believe about time was a useful lie, an illusion so well crafted that it has shaped how you live, how you age, even how you desire? From a young age, we're taught that time is an arrow that moves forward mercilessly, that there's an age for everything, that youth slips away, and what's lost never returns. But what if time is nothing more than a mental perception? What if you could choose to live from a different frequency, where youth never left, only fell asleep? Close your eyes for a moment. Feel your body. What if I told you that every cell, every organ, responds not to the years on your calendar, but to the beliefs you hold in your soul? Neuroscience confirms it. Your thoughts don't just shape your mind, they shape your biology. Your beliefs about time create an internal chemistry that accelerates or slows your aging. This isn't fantasy. It's quantum physics. It's epigenetics. It's real. Ancient sages knew this. The Bhagavad Gita says that those who transcend time transcend suffering. Hermes Trismegistus taught that what is above is below, and that includes time. What you believe here is reflected there. What you affirm as your age, your fatigue, your inevitable decline becomes a biological truth. But here's the revelation. You can reprogram it. You can change your dialogue with time, with your body, with your soul. Today, I want to take you on a journey, not a chronological one, but a spiritual one. We'll explore why time is a mental construct, how it directly affects your vitality, and above all, how to reclaim that youth that never left but was conditioned to sleep under layers of calendars, fear, and inherited beliefs. I'm not speaking from empty motivation. I'm speaking from forgotten truth, from awakening science, from ancestral wisdom returning with force in this era of consciousness. If you've ever felt that the years don't define you, that something young and powerful still beats within you, this message is for you. And if you've made it this far, tell me in the comments where in the world you're watching from, because this journey begins today and knows no boundaries. We live trapped by clocks, seconds, minutes, hours, a linear succession that tells us when to be born, when to grow, when to age, and when to die. But there's a truth that quantum science and ancestral spiritual wisdom are beginning to reveal with absolute clarity. Time is not a universal constant. Time is a perception, and that perception can be reprogrammed. Think about this. Why do moments of happiness seem to fly by, while pain drags on eternally? Why can a year feel like a lifetime, and a decade pass like a sigh? Because time is subjective, internal, mental, and most importantly, your body isn't governed by the calendar, but by the signals you send it about time. Jacobo Grinberg, the great Mexican mystic scientist, spoke of the neuronal field of consciousness as a malleable structure where what we think, feel, and believe creates tangible reality. In this field, the perception of time isn't a fixed line, but a structure we can expand, contract, or transform. Your cells, your organs, your DNA, they all respond to this field of beliefs. What are you telling your body every day? Are you repeating, "I'm not young anymore. This is normal for my age," or "things were different before"? Because every time you do, your cells listen and obey. Epigenetics has proven this with resounding evidence. You are not a slave to your genes, but to your thoughts. Bruce Lipton, a pioneer in this field, states that the body's chemistry changes based on what we believe. If you believe your youth is lost, your body begins to act as if it were true. But if you start seeing time as an ally, as flexible energy, as a mirror of your consciousness, something shifts. Have you ever seen someone older with radiant energy, a vitality that seems impossible? Or conversely, young people with wilted bodies and souls? This happens because it's not age that determines your energy. It's your vibrational frequency, your perception of yourself in relation to time. In deep meditation or altered states of consciousness, thousands of people report the same experience. Time disappears. There's no past, no future, only an eternal present. And in that present, healing happens, regeneration occurs. The body begins to undo the traces of time because there's no narrative anchoring it to decline. When asked about his secret to longevity, the Dalai Lama said, "I don't worry about time, only about who I am now." That's the key. Youth isn't in the years that have passed. It's in the energy you sustain today, in the consciousness you choose to inhabit. This is the first step in our journey, breaking the illusion, realizing we've been programmed to age prematurely, not by biology, but by culture, not by nature, but by narrative. And you can rewrite that narrative. Today, I want you to do something. Stand in front of a mirror, look into your eyes and repeat, time doesn't limit me. I am energy, I am consciousness, I am constant renewal. At first, it might feel like a simple word game, but with repetition, your energy field begins to respond, your cells awaken to a new instruction, and your soul starts to remember it was never bound by a clock. Because the soul has no age, and when you live from the soul, the body begins to reflect its youth. What we believe about time imprints on our body like an absolute truth. Every wrinkle, every ailment, every change in our energy isn't just a biological consequence, but a vibrational reflection of what we've accepted as real. Here's the core of the mystery. Most of our beliefs about time aren't ours. We inherited them. From childhood, we heard phrases like, when you're older, your back will hurt. At this age, it's not the same, or enjoy it now while you can. Without realizing it, we began associating the passage of time with loss, deterioration, fatigue. That repeated programming, millions of times over, becomes a prophecy, but not an inevitable one, rather a self-imposed one, an illusion sustained by consensus. Modern science, especially in fields like neuroplasticity, has confirmed that the brain physically changes based on beliefs. The neural networks we use most strengthen, those we neglect weaken. If you think every day I don't have the energy I used to, your brain creates a fixed pathway to fatigue. But if you affirm with conviction, my energy grows with time, that belief restructures your internal patterns. Dr. Joe Dispenza has documented dozens of cases where people reverse conditions considered degenerative simply by reprogramming their minds. His approach combines visualization, meditation, and elevated emotion to teach the body to live in a new timeline. Because that's what you do when you heal through consciousness. You abandon linear time and enter quantum time, where everything is possible because everything already is. This is where a fundamental hermetic principle comes in. The all is mind. What you think manifests. What you hold in your consciousness becomes matter. This isn't magical thinking. It's vibrational physics. Your cells respond to the vibration of your thoughts like tuned instruments. Observe your body now. What is it telling you? Where is there tension, stiffness, fatigue? And what thoughts do you repeat daily that might be sustaining that state? Because every part of your body holds a story, and many of those stories aren't yours. They're borrowed narratives you can return. Try this exercise. Every morning when you wake up, place your hands over your heart, breathe deeply, and silently repeat, I choose to live time from my soul, not the clock. My body is young because my consciousness is free. Then visualize a golden sphere of light enveloping your body, as if that light erases all the aging codes you've absorbed. Feel that light penetrating every cell, restoring its original vitality. This symbolic act isn't just imagination, it's a quantum instruction. And if you sustain it with authentic emotion, it generates transformation. Youth, as we've said, isn't a number. It's a frequency, a way of being in the world. Have you noticed some older people who keep exploring, learning, laughing with an open soul? Those people aren't young by accident. They've chosen not to accept the conditioning of time, and their body, as a faithful servant, responds to that decision. Your body has no will of its own. It has memory, and that memory can be cleared, updated, awakened. When you believe you still can, that it's still worth it, that you're still in time, your biology listens and begins to respond. Eastern traditions teach that time is circular. There's no beginning or end, only cycles. If you learn to live within that flow, without clinging to the past or fearing the future, your body enters a state of continuous renewal, like the moon, like the seasons, like the soul that always returns to the center. This second step is vital. Clear the inherited beliefs about time, question them, stop saying it's too late, because it's not. The only thing that ages without remedy is the lie that you can't change. And you're here because your soul remembers, because your body wants to hear a different truth, one that restores life from within. If time doesn't exist as we believe, and the body listens and manifests what the soul believes, then what happens when you consciously choose to inhabit a new present? The answer is profound and transformative. Your reality reorganizes, your biology renews, your soul reconnects. This isn't a spiritual metaphor. It's a technique, a daily, concrete choice. Just as you can live trapped in past memories, repeating emotional patterns, reliving old traumas or regrets, you can also build a new timeline, one where the past no longer defines you and the future doesn't limit you. A timeline where the now becomes your temple, your most powerful medicine. How do you do it? The first step is to anchor the body in the present moment. When you're truly present, time literally stops. The nervous system regulates, the heart rate harmonizes, and brain waves enter a more receptive state, ideal for healing. That's why so many traditions emphasize meditation, conscious breathing, contemplation, not just to calm you, but to step out of the conditioned timeline and open a new one. A technique that has transformed thousands of lives is cardiac coherence breathing. Place your hands on your chest, close your eyes, and begin to breathe slowly, deeply, with full attention on your heart. As you breathe, evoke an elevated emotion, gratitude, joy, unconditional love. That emotion is the key because it's not enough to think differently. You must feel differently. You must teach your body to feel excited about a reality it hasn't yet seen, but is already planted in the quantum field. Science has shown that when you combine clear intention with elevated emotion, you activate the body's most powerful electromagnetic field, the heart. And that field doesn't just influence your cells, it influences the entire universe. Jacobo Grinberg, the Mexican neuroscientist who studied the relationship between consciousness and reality, put it clearly. The brain doesn't generate consciousness, it interprets it. If you can alter your interpretation of time, if you can stop seeing yourself as a line that ages and start living as an eternal point of creation, you rewrite your existence from the root. Imagine now that every morning, instead of remembering who you were, you choose to remember who you can be. That every word you speak, every action you take, aligns with that new version of yourself. The one that doesn't carry past guilt or future anxiety. The one that doesn't look in the mirror for flaws, but for signs of light. Do you know what happens when you repeat this every day? Your body starts to listen. Your cells respond. Your habits change. And time, that old tyrant, begins to yield to your new vibration. Because the soul never ages, and when the body listens clearly, it rejuvenates too. Try this ritual for 21 days. Every night before bed, write how your day was from the perspective of your highest self. Not how it actually was, but how it would have been if you were already living in your ideal timeline. Describe it with emotion, gratitude, joy, then read it aloud as an affirmation. You're training your subconscious mind to accept a new narrative, one where time no longer ages, but renews. And remember, you're not alone on this path. Millions are awakening to this silent truth, that youth isn't a privilege of years, but of consciousness, that the body is a faithful ally waiting for your instructions, and that time only exists if you allow it. What if all this time it wasn't about stopping the clock, but remembering it was never real? What if youth isn't measured in wrinkles or calendars, but in the vibration you sustain and the story you choose to inhabit each day? We've lived decades believing aging is an inevitable sentence when, in reality, it's just another programming, a collective belief the soul never signed on to. Because the soul doesn't age, and if the body listens to everything the soul believes, then the true medicine isn't in a cream, a surgery, or a supplement, it's in a decision. The decision to rewrite your timeline from the eternal present. Now you know time isn't a straight line, but a spiral of possibilities. You can inhabit a version of yourself that no longer carries the past or fears the future. You can be new now. You can activate memories of light, health, purpose, timeless youth. And how do you do it? By remembering who you are, not with the mind, but with the heart. The sages of all ages knew it. Hermes encoded it in the Emerald Tablet. What is above is like what is below. What is eternal in you, your soul, can be reflected in the material, your body if you choose it. The Kybalion reaffirms it. The all is mind. Your reality is a projection of your consciousness. And modern science, from epigenetics to quantum physics, now confirms it. Your beliefs shape your biology. Time doesn't rule you. You decide how to live it. So look at yourself today with new eyes, not from judgment, but from wonder. See your body as the sacred vehicle that has faithfully obeyed everything you've believed about yourself. Then offer it a new message. From today, I am youth, I am expansion, I am living presence. If you repeat it with conviction, with emotion, with coherence, your body will respond because it's always been listening. This isn't just another video. It's a portal, an invitation to step out of time and into yourself, to stop seeking solutions outside and start remembering the sources already within. If you've made it this far, it's not by chance. Your soul was ready, and now your body knows it. Comment below. Which phrase, image, or moment from this message resonated most with you? That way, I'll know this journey touched your heart too. And if you want to keep awakening sacred memories like this, you know what to do. Subscribe. The next revelation might be exactly what you need. I invite you to check out the videos appearing on the screen. Take a look. I'm sure they'll interest you. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.